Libroski, dear Libra, fist bump, welcome back to the Renaissance Tarot. Welcome to your best friend, to your funny and your most favorite Armenian guy, where I serve and I slay. So dear Libralicious, delicious tough cookie. Today I'm going to be doing your reading for the month of January for your twin flame journey. Now this reading is very specific. It's not going to resonate with everyone. Those of you who are on a twin flame journey, you all know what I'm talking about. Now, dear Libra, in this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at your recent past, present, and future. I'm going to see what is the main energy and the challenge between you and your twin flame, clarify all the cards, and get some final advice for you. So, Tough Cookie, I'm so excited to be going and exploring the nearby Mount Charleston, which is near Las Vegas. I'm going to be doing snowboarding, okay, getting the whole gear, going with my friends and exploring that. I'm really excited. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to be careful, but really excited about that. So I'm saying, can you imagine living in Vegas and being away from like the snow for 40 minutes? There's some sassy shit out here. So I'm saying, Justina, let's see what's going on for you. Justina! I just called your name and you just showed up. Justice, which is the card of a Libra, just showed up. Love that for you. So the energy between you and your twin flame is the Ten of Cups. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Page of Pentacles followed by the Two of Wands and the Two of Pentacles. So Libroski, looks like family. Okay, the energy is about family, around family, about, you know, this dynamic of wanting to be together. You do see yourself being reunited with your twin flame. There could be children involved here. I'm also getting here, there could be interracial marriage, interracial, biracial, for some of you. Now, one of the things that I see here with the Ten of Cups, you could be dealing with the water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, maybe another Libra. I'm getting here Aquarius, Capricorn, Taurus, also Leo. Sagittarius too. Now we're gonna, I know I said a lot of signs, but you know, take it as it resonates. But for many of you, there is definitely a lot of love up in the air. This is the energy for the month of January. We're going to see how this is gonna unfold and what do you need to know. However, I do see here, I don't wanna jump too far ahead. You know, I'm a Leo. Sometimes I'm not patient enough, but there is news and communication coming in your way. Now, in the recent past, you have the Three of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. In the recent past, Libra, the way that I can interpret this, the way that I can see this, I'm seeing here two stories and I'm going to give it to you real quick. Number one, for some of you, I'm going to throw a couple of scenarios out there, okay? I see here you're reconciling with your twin flame and then things becoming very heavy and hefty and difficult and then breaking up again. For others of you, I think that you and your twin flame got separated because of a third-party situation, okay? Some sort of an intervention, a third party with the Three of Cups. And I think that it became very overbearing and difficult for you to really live like that or to be in a dynamic where you just knew your twin flame, okay, with whom you had a very, very intense chemistry with and connection was with somebody else. And I mean, I know there is a lot of Libroskis watching me. If you see females in here, I mean, it's not a gender specific, okay? This is an energy that I'm talking about. So things became very heavy, wounded soldier. Many of you were very hurt over the fact that this situation ended that way. Now, in the present moment, you have the Queen of Pentacles, Justina, Justice, that's you, and the Star. Okay, so I'm gonna have to cover the Star because it has the front department is open of the Star, okay? So for many of you, you know, you're committed to wanting to make things right with this person. You're very committed, you're very determined. There is this energy of you wanting to resolve this issue. You could be dealing with someone who has also a Gemini in their birth chart, or there's like air sign energy. For a lot of you with the Star, this is talking about, as an Aquarius energy, you have a wish that you want to fulfill. You have a wish and a desire to manifest, okay? And we're gonna talk about this. You're not giving up on this situation, okay, Libra? You rule the relationships, you're ruled by Venus, and that's the planet of pleasure. There is something very charming about you, Libra, and I've always, any Libra that I've met, you guys are very seductive. You know that, you played that game very well. So there is something about you, like, you just know you left a mark on this person's mind, heart, like you know that they're going to come back around. They always do. Now we're going to find out more. Now, in the near future, you have the Eight of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. So there is communication coming in towards your way. And when you see two court cards, archetypes looking towards the same direction, I feel like that both of you are going to be anticipating communication. Whether you reach out or whether they reach out, I feel like this is going to lead to something profound for both of you. What you don't see coming here that this is going to lead to both of you is a brand new beginning with the Page of Pentacles, something more substantial. And you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands here, Libra, talks about expansion, okay? Maybe you both would be wanting to make some travel plans here and getting out of this mode of indecisiveness. You have the Hermit here. You're too smart for this. You see what I'm saying? You both are too smart for this. Things are going to start becoming more illuminated as we move forward. The year of 2026 is the year of the fire horse, okay? And you see there is a very decisive energy. That is you. Knight of Swords is Libra energy, embarking onto a specific direction, and you have the Devil Capricorn energy at the bottom of the deck, okay? You could be also dealing with the Capricorn, which can lead to a brand new beginning here. Now, without any further ado, let's get into your reading and let's clarify everything for you and see what is it that you need to know about the Ten of Cups. After I'm finished with you, Libroski, I'm going to enjoy my Armenian coffee in a copper pot. Okay, so Libra, Twin Flame Journey, Ten of Cups. Family is what's on your mind. Family, clarified by the Knight of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords, and you have the King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Water, could be dealing with the water, air, water. So, you know what I do see here, Libra, is it's like you really would want to make this work at all costs. Like you're very determined, even though there is something here that you're aware that's blocking. Something is blocking from this relationship from actually you both coming in together with the Three of Pentacles and like reuniting, reconciling, and wanting to cooperate. Something is blocking. You're aware of that, but you're still willing to offer this person love and give them space and extend them grace for this relationship to work out. Okay, because for many of you, there is a lot of love here, and you may have this person coming towards your way, or you may head towards this person. I think first, one of the signs you're gonna start to see is dreams. You're gonna start maybe even lucid dreaming also. There is something about your dream world that you're gonna start paying more attention to. I feel like for many of you, this doesn't always happen to me, but I'm gonna say this right now because I just channel in different ways. You're going to start seeing snakes in your dreams, and the snakes are going to mean that there is a transformation that's happening. There is something here that you're finally letting go of and shedding off, and it's going to be a confirmation that communication and movement is near, okay? It's about to happen. Now, your challenge and the energy for the month of January with your twin flame with the Ten of Cups is, I think you have a lot of questions in your mind. Even if this situation was to work out, you're still trying to understand, are they able to fully commit? This also could be a same-sex situation. Doesn't have to be. I need to mention that as well because we have two kings here. It could be two queens, two kings. I know that Libras are not judgmental. No one is gonna yell at me for saying that. Nobody's gonna be crazy for saying that. You know, I have a big audience and I have people from all backgrounds, and I must honor that. And I'm also intuitively picking up that for some of you, there could be family members that are involved. Maybe family members or external cultural circumstances and things like that are kind of blocking this reunion from happening, okay? Could be children involved here. Someone here could have children. You know, there could be different factors. Now, in the recent past, the Three of Cups, I do want to see whether this was a third-party situation or you just reconciled together and then something else happened and you both got separated. So it's clarified by the Four of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Four of Wands. I feel like there was a strong sense of rejection here. You know, marriage was what was on your mind. And at a certain point, the person, the twin flame that you were dealing with, they might have also expressed their desire for marriage. And someone here, I get this sense of your rejection. It could have been you rejecting them or telling them you weren't ready or vice versa. I feel like in this case, the roles can be reversed, but this was about like you both shared a lot of happy moments, celebrating, doing things together. I feel like there was this strong sense of like a duality, community, just being together, maybe sharing things with friends and family. But something here happened where there was a strong sense of rejection. I don't know if this was your person, your twin flame still stuck on somebody else from their past, maybe. Maybe that's where the third party situation here comes from. I don't like to talk about those things, but I'm just saying. Now, 10 of Wands here, a lot of heaviness in the past. I feel like many of you went through a very difficult path, right? When you look into this imagery, you see she's carrying all these 10 Wands on her back, and she has come a long way. So it's clarified by the Temperance, Sagittarius energy, Judgment, Scorpio, and the Knight of Swords. For many of you, there had to be a decision that was, that needed to be made. This was you, maybe you realized that if things were becoming very, overwhelming and excruciating and difficult, you had to put an end to something here in the recent past. For many of you, I feel like that it was a very difficult decision, but indeed it was much needed to make, okay? With the Knight of Swords, I strongly feel like here, someone here cut someone off. And this could have been you either trying to set a boundary or letting this person know that they need to come towards you with commitment, because there is something about your twin flame entertaining another situation here. Okay, and all of a sudden peace and harmony was what it started lacking in this relationship. Sagittarius energy here. Someone was constantly on the go. Some of you, very few of you, might have even been offered to be in a relationship where your twin flame could have still entertained another person but still wanted to be with you. You know what I mean? And I think it was a very difficult situation for you to be in. So some of you might have said that's not what you want. I'm also getting here misunderstanding, dear Libra, with the Knight of Swords, like an argument that might have taken place, okay, between you and your person. I think you might have lost your patience. And who doesn't lose their patience in kind of situations like that I have lost? So 9 of Wands, I think after so many rounds and circles of just going around the same mountain here, for many of you with the 9 of Wands, you took time to heal. So yeah, 5 of Swords, there were way too many arguments and way too many conflicts going on, competition, jealousy, 5 of Swords, okay, envy also, evil eye. You have the Ace of Swords and the Death. Although I don't support the belief of the evil eye, who cares? If you are chosen by the divine, can nobody come against you? Can nobody tell you nothing? So I'm saying no weapon formed against you, dear Libra, shall ever prosper. And that's some sassy shit out there. Now, in the recent past, for many of you, you did communicate with this person, okay? Scorpio energy with the Death card here, and you have the 5 of Swords, Ace of Swords. Some sort of a conversation took place between you and this person, which turned into a big argument, and it brought things to an end. It ended things. I think the way that things ended between you and your twin flame, it kind of really didn't make sense. It also did. I'm getting here very heated moments, like, just being really upset and frustrated over the fact that somebody here couldn't commit. I'm also getting here an older person, younger person, 3 of Wands, the Emperor, and the 10 of Swords. I'm also getting here Libra. Some of you could have dealt with someone who had facial hair features, okay, if they're a male. I don't know if they're a female, who knows. But in the recent past, someone here was constantly traveling, or someone was constantly in the distant. I'm also getting here you in the recent past started feeling kind of really distant from your twin flame. There was a distance that was created. However, something here you knew that you need to transform and you need to change with the Death card here. Okay, radical transformation. In the present moment, you have the Queen of Pentacles, Justice, and the Star. So you're not giving up on this person. You have the Queen of Pentacles. I think right now, of course, your main focus is your business, your career, your money, but you are more than open and more than willing to set something right here with the Justice. You have a strong desire here, Libra, to resolve this conflict and bring resolution. Number 11 could also have a very strong meaning for many of you, 1111, okay? The Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the 9 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, and the 4 of Pentacles. You could be also dealing with an Aries. Now, as I mentioned, financial security, financial situation is important for you. Yes, this is a twin flame reading, but For many of you, you're still holding on to this person, right? You could be financially improving. You could be setting really big financial goals for yourself. But when it comes to your twin flame, you are still trying to understand what's gonna happen between the two of you. Where are you going to end up with this person, right? You're still holding on to them. You're still wanting to work things out. And there is an unfinished business and a conversation that has happened. And with the Justice here, which is your card, this is you showing up on top of your reading, saying, I'm ready to actually resolve this conflict and to talk to this person. Some of you could be working in the legal team, legal matter. You could be a lawyer. You could be a paralegal. Something about also legal paperwork working out. The Justice is clarified by the Seven of Wands, Queen of Cups, and the Seven of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles at the bottom. Okay, so this is really talking about like you would want to address some things that you had with this person, like in regards to trust issues. Okay, Seven of Swords, Queen of Cups. You feel like there is something that your twin flame hasn't told you completely about. There is something here that they might have been hiding from you, and you want to be completely open. You do want to address something here with them. I feel like for many of you with the Seven of Swords, there is something about you basically are not labeling it anything, and I'm having a hard time to even say that. I don't know if it's a deception, if it's a misunderstanding, if it's something they were scared to tell you because maybe they thought if they were to tell you the truth or to tell you what exactly it was, you would leave them. You know, that's a pattern that people have. It comes from their childhood, like, or if I be honest, or if I tell them what it is exactly, they might be disappointed in me and they leave me. That's a certain attachment style and a behavioral pattern. Now, you would want to resolve this issue and you would want to know the truth, okay? But I feel like also you are not losing hope and you are manifesting the best case scenario and the best outcome for you and your person here, okay? So let's clarify the star for you in the present moment. The star. The star is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Five of Wands, and the World at the bottom of the deck. And I also saw the Eight of Wands and the Lovers. So you want to close off this cycle here. Okay, the cycle here that's been very overbearing, and this cycle is about that argument that I said earlier that you both had. Okay, I think that you are at a point right now, Libra, where this is not for everyone. So I know some of you might be really upset about this situation, but when it comes to even apologizing, you would not mind taking accountability and responsibility for this situation. And this is something that you would want your person, you would want to encourage them to do as well. Okay, I think you're more than open for a reconciliation and reunion and getting past this conflict here that has happened. There might have been multiple people also that maybe were involved in this situation, third-party situations, cultural differences between you and them, right? You want to pass that. You want to move on from that, and you want to eventually communicate where you want to move forward with your person. There is news coming towards your way. That's what I'm strongly feeling. Eight of Wands. Let's clarify the Eight of Wands for you in the near future. So it's clarified by the Justice. So I'm saying, so it's coming up twice here, Libra. You're really dominating in your reading today, especially. You have the Sun and the Nine of Swords, Leo energy. The Sun is the card of a Leo. There is news that's coming in. Both of you are stressed out. Both of you are in this place of, you know, and I'm feeling like this is really about a twin flame, like a strong connection that you have. And there is stress on both ends here, you know. I think someone's happiness has been kind of dimmed down ever since this situation, you know, happened between the two of you and you both ended things together. So I do strongly feel like here for many of you, you're gonna find yourself being happier in the long run than whatever you're experiencing right now. Like that's not gonna last too long. I see here you, like I said, coming and approaching to this person, to this twin flame of yours, with the intention of wanting to bring reconciliation and resolve this conflict. Here you have the Six of Pentacles and the Empress. One of the things that you want to do is you do want to nurture and take care of this relationship and this person. You know they have a lot of need for support and attention and care, and I think that you wouldn't mind to provide that to them. Let's talk about the King of Pentacles in the near future and the King of Cups. So King of Pentacles is stability. This is about this is giving like business energy, business person energy, also a lot of like being very grounded. So it's clarified by the Knight of Wands, the Moon, and the Page of Wands. For many of you, this King of Pentacles energy is talking about a brand new start, a fresh start here, and even though there is still going to be a little bit of doubt, there is going to be some like questions. That's something that this person is going to answer for you. I think in the near future, you might still feel a little bit emotionally closed off because you don't know if this person is coming towards you. Are they coming in with good intentions? If they're breaking no contact and they're wanting to reach out to you, like where is this gonna go to? Okay, because emotionally you're becoming more careful and you don't want to just invest into this all the way through. You want to help this person and help them heal, but not right away, because you've learned a lesson from the past and you're too smart for this. Okay, so King of Cups clarified by the Tower, Eight of Swords, and the King of Wands, and one of my most favorite, Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands always gonna be in Libra's reading. Now this makes sense right now because the Tower, Scorpio energy, the Eight of Swords, and the King and the Queen of Wands. The reason why I was saying here that you might kind of really hold your horses a little bit and go slowly is because you don't want to end up in the same tower, in the same distraction that happened before. And it's good to be precautious. It's good to be safe than sorry. So you do want to end up in the long run being with this person and forming family. Maybe there's children involved in here, but you're smarter right now and you're wiser. Okay, because a lot of you feel like that also this is someone that maybe they kind of may change their mind. Okay, they have a tendency to change their mind, or they also need to ground themselves too. Like you might even have a conversation with your twin flame about maybe developing some sort of a ritual, routine, or doing things together to kind of really bond together better this time than before. Because for many of you, there is a little bit of like someone here gets scared and then detaches or avoids, and it creates a lot of confusion, okay? And that can be related to the past relationships. Maybe you or your twin flame experienced way too many towers in the past. You know what I'm saying? And things came to an end very unexpectedly in the past, and that's something that you want to avoid and you don't want to experience that, okay? And this can lead to a brand new beginning here with the Ace of Wands. You have the Five of Cups and the King of Swords. I think that what you really want to do in the month of January is to put an end to this constant sadness, to this feeling of loneliness, to this feeling of insecurity. Whatever didn't work out, okay, there is still an opportunity here that always exists. Now, it's not about trying to force anything, and I've talked to Aquarius about this. I think I did talk to Aquarius quite thoroughly about, just in general, a detachment here and focusing on oneself. And that's what I'm also gonna, advise you as well, right? This is the energy, this is the challenge, this is what you want to manifest. Instead of trying to change the other person or try to force anything, you start changing your self-concept, because everyone is literally you pushed out. People respond to our inner conversations, to our inner dialogues. That's what also Neville Goddard talks about. People can hear our inner dialogues and conversations about them. Test this, and I'm sure many of you might have learned about this too. Have you ever had this experience when you think so lovingly about somebody, when you think so kindly, they really reflect that back to you, right? Because people can pick up on that vibration and on that energy. Even though it might be challenging and things have happened in the past, many arguments, many difficult situations. And if you're watching this reading and you truly want to work things out with your twin flame, this is about changing the narrative and the dialogue within yourself. What story have you been telling yourself, and what story are you telling yourself on day-to-day basis? If someone here affirms that they want to be with their SP and they want to work things out, and they watch a tarot reading that's all full of shit, bullshit, dumb shit, and just negativity, they're being put under a spell, and it's literally knocking a person off of their vibration or frequency. Let's be mindful of what we consume, what we watch, who we allow to speak into our lives, and what songs we're listening to. What story do I keep myself every day about a person, about money, about the situation? And when you reach to that level of inner security and inner knowing that you're good with or without this person manifesting in your life, that money coming into your life, there is a neutral feeling that starts coming up. You're just kind of like indifferent. That's the secret of manifestation, because you don't chase it. You just become it. You know what I'm saying? You become wealth. If you knew the phone you're holding in your hand right now and you're watching me, you're not looking for it. You know it's in your hand, right? But just because this situation hasn't unfolded in your 3D reality doesn't mean that it can exist. See, that's the thing. When we manifest, when we set an intentional Libra, Libroski, it's about being that version that is a match for that experience. You know what I'm saying? So there is a lot that I talk about that, but let's get into your advice here and see what is it that you need to know. But you're doing the right thing by, slowly reintegrating your energy back into the reunion of this twin flame of yours. Okay, because it's not an easy journey. It can be a very challenging journey that people go through. Now let's get the advice and see what do you need to know. You have the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, the Empress, the Emperor, and the Page of Swords. Wow. The Emperor and the Empress. That's some power couple dynamic right there. Some sassy shit Adams. I'm saying this is about being clear. Page of Swords, execution of your mindset, being very clear how you want this relationship to unfold for you, how you want it to be. And for many of you, I do strongly feel like here that this relationship carries a lot of potential, because I'm seeing here the Emperor and the Empress. Those two archetypes, usually they represent people who have been through a lot. So you're someone that you have been seasoned before in relationships and in marriages, and so has your twin flame. And you both met each other for a reason here. This is about having this mutual agreement. This is the mutual agreement here with the Page of Swords. In what ways can you both resolve the conflict that happened between you and them and take it to the next level, Libra? Remember, you're someone that you have a very strong skill of conflict resolution. You see what I'm saying? My Mars is in Libra, and that's a very important planet. That's a very important placement. You got to be very diplomatic. You got to be very wise and smart. You already are. It's just about implementing that into it, right? And we're not people pleasing anymore. We're becoming very initiative, okay? And I think that a lot of times when you also get into your person, it's also allowing your throat chakra to open and being clear with your words, okay? Speaking your mind, standing up for your relationship, because you do want to save this relationship and you do want to work it out. I think that you're dealing with someone who also has had some sort of an emotional, tumultuous, ending in their life. And it's about just two people who have been wounded before wanting to work this relationship out and creating this new beginning for themselves. Now, I'm not done yet with you. I have one more important card that I have pulled for every twin flame reading here, Wisdom of the Oracle. So let's see, what is the important message that you need to know? Co-create, number 40, okay? So maybe this is something that you could be taking into consideration for the next 40 days. Co-creation, co-create. Let's see what is the message here that you need, the relationship message for number 40. It's a short one. So connections, it says creativity, art, inspiration, fruition, and manifestation. Okay, so connections of the heart serve to inspire you, opening you up to new ideas you would never have come to on your own. You're looking in a mirror held up by this experience and seeing yourself in an unexpected way. Who is this extraordinary cutie patootie being looking back at you? You're going to be so happy that you kept your heart open. Your love is a unique work of art. Now, the very embodiment of beauty. That's it. You're unique, right? Gotta look into yourself, into the mirror. Has nothing to do with narcissism. I don't want to hear about none of that stuff, okay? This is about you embodying that version of you and knowing that you are worthy of love, and speak positively about your image. This is 2026. Come on. So I'm saying, so this is what I had for you, dear Libralicious. I love you so much. I hope that this reading helped. It was very thorough, very in-depth. I go very deep in my readings. Not only readings, but also, this is what I had for you. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.